Hey, good evening, good people. Welcome to the Coffee Talk with the grandpa and my good friend.
And me, Miss Adiang. Welcome to the Coffee Talk. And today's topic is very interactive. Very like just last week. Mliongea sana, mlichemka sana, which is very right. So, and also remember to talk to us on our YouTube hashtag the Coffee Talk. WhatsApp number 0719144144. Give us your feedback and let us listen to you. Welcome to the Coffee Talk.
Yeah. So Jess, I don't know. Have you ever experienced Nini? Do you come from a family where you either experienced directly or indirectly gender-based violence?
Hey, niseme nini? 90% of the women, if not 100% of the women out there will concur with what I have to say. Madam, almost on a daily basis, una experience violence in some way. Either it's emotionally, it's physically, it's economic, it's psychological, you get. Sometimes umekaa tu hivi and you know, a man, or maybe you're walking in town very casually and a man will catcall you.
Will?
Catcall you, hiyo mambo ya kuwisa na kuambia nini, you see. And then it's that mtu anaanza kudescribe mwili yako venye inakaa nini. So, hiyo kukatcall, ukikosa kumuitikia, anaanza kukua aggressive. Aggression inaanza kukuja in the sense that anaanza kukutusi. Okay. Somebody will talk about your body, somebody will talk about how you walk, and to some very extreme, some men will get so defensive and very aggressive hadi atakuja anze threaten physically. In some cases, they beat up some women because mtu amekataa kukubali catcall yako. So mimi, let me just say, I've gone through it a couple of times.
I never thought from that angle.
Utapata unakaa kwa mat and then somebody will just touch you and then ana behave like it's an accident or it's a mistake and then they do it again and it's a matatu.
Okay, you know, one thing I'm shocked and genuinely I'm shocked. Seti najifanya. Do you know what I thought is gender-based violence? Fighting. Hiyo kupigana ama kutusi mtu. So when you're talking ndio niko ile kuna jamani maingianga matu si the way unaweza ingia matu then jifanya chukua simu. But
ushanishika mapaja, mtu ashakushika wapi? You know, that is violence, but I do not say it's the same as kwenda kupiga mtu. It's many people will not see, but if you sue that person, they'll be held accountable in a law. It will stand. That is evidence because wewe utaenda je tu ushike mtu mjui, hamna mambo na yeye, hamna familia, like you are not any.
So we can say like that means. But that's when now you're clicking a lot of things that
it means that gender-based violence can be in very many forms.
Emotional.
It is emotional. Emotional ni ile yenye mtu anakutusi tu ama you're in a relationship with a guy. Every other time you want to go out, you're wearing something, you're going out with your girls. It's like, your dress ni fupi sana. Wengine watakuona. Hiyo si right. Ukiva hizo maskini jeans zako zinakutoa kila kitu huwa anaongea.
Hapana
kile huwa anasema ni kama ulinimit nikivaa hizi nguo. Don't get it twisted that once we are in a relationship I'll stop wearing these clothes. I was wearing them before you got to me and I will wear them even after.
Now let me ask you.
During or after.
Okay, let's deal now with that beat first of all. In the sahi unapata I'll come and find you kasa nimecheki mnavaa jumper sijui ni bike mnavaa ndani ama you join
bike short
mkana bike short and clocks. To me as a person ties are a big deal for me. And if this is how I saw you and this is what I am seeing, it's making me happy. I am of belief no other man should be entertained.
Sasa nganga unatembea kwa streets, you see a girl wearing a very short clothes hajakuja kwako akakufungulia mapaja, you've just seen it.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if you know it's I feel like nini pia upbringing in an African setting imekuwa so nisemaje, imefunikwa sana such that unapata watu wakitoka nje wakutane na watu hawakulelewa venye walilelewa, wanafeel huyu si anatembea uchi, huyu si anaita attention ya wanaume. In real sense mimi mali natoka hivyo ndo wanava, but
there'll be that thought of
you know, sometimes it's okay you've seen my thighs zimekufurahisha.
Yes.
That is between you and your mind. The problem comes in when now you are starting to show your fantasies on me.
No,
I am a total stranger. You've seen my thighs.
No, not from that angle. No, not from that angle. You're my girl. And
you don't want other men to get it.
Yes.
Yes. No, venye ulikuwa sema ukikutana na mimi, I was wearing, maybe we met even in a club. I was wearing something short, something nice, something to make me feel, you know, cutesy. And then you want to tell me that after we've gotten into a relationship, you do not want me to dress that way.
Is that no?
Nini ilikufurahisha? You see, that is the problem. Kile ilikufurahisha ukikuja kwangu ilikuwa mathighs. Hasa utaki wanaume wenzako ati waone mathighs. No.
These are rules that it's the male kingdom.
Hakunanga male kingdom. Achana na watu ni waongo. Hakuna
and the rule is one. Like God. You men don't share the kingdom. And they are grody.
Time and again, I want to remind you, and I want to remind our viewers at home, men are not God. Oh Lord, they are far from it. Do not use the Lord's name in vain.
No, not the big,
kingdom,
not the capital.
Even the small ones. You people should not even be associated near God.
Because let me tell
even
you.
Even if it is those gods for small decors that people put at home. The things people can do out here is wicked. Human beings and God is a different entity.
No, we are not. Because you see the Bible says, let us create our own.
Yes, but we have proved time and
if you're
time
outside,
memorial that
So if you're outside there and you are a lady and you happen to be dating someone or someone's wife and they loved you because of particular thing, funika. And that's why I'll give you a very good example. And I really admire the Hindus and the Muslim. Wanavaa nini ya buibui kwa nyumba ndio ataonesha mzee man.
Asa hapo mali umefika. I just want to ask you, will you marry a Hindu because that will constitute you having to transform into that religion? If
I was given a chance,
will you transform so that you can? Because I'm looking at this point in Christianity mostly, there is no particular dress code that women have. You see, in Islam there is. They wear their hijab, and they wear for the long clothes. It's for women who are maybe juu ukiangalia maybe kwa mtandao siku hizi inakuwa very modern. It's modernized. The hijab is constant. But I can wear a trouser. I can wear a kimono over it. I can dress however I want. The hair, see my, okay, labda ni, but it's for them, not for mzee, because they start doing that when they are kids.
Yeah.
For Hindus, when I'm wearing a sari will cover. It's basically a crop top.
Yeah. Shows
my belly because most of them they do belly dance. You see, it shows my stomach and. A sari that is tied around. If for some reason you find that very modest, I do not see a reason why you should be mbona ubambike na mapaja za sisi wenye hatuvai.
No, so kwa nyumba wanavanga saa venye
kama utaki mtu anaonyesha mali yako, of which si mali yako. Enda utafute huyo mwenye anajifunika.
Something good.
Juu mimi kama tuseme umenipata na mimi navaa some type of way. Haujawahi niambia ati unajua hizi pia ni vitu za kukaa chini. If we sit down and you tell me that baby kuna venye na feel insecure ukivaa hizo ni ukitoka nje. If you are supposed to tell me. If you tell me that, I'll be like, kama ninaona naweza achana nayo, nitaachana nayo.
Sasa
but kama najua siwezi achana nayo, siachani nayo, because kama hivyo ndio wewe ulinimit. The same way you wear studs, sindio? If I am not into men who wear studs, or I'm into men who wear studs, it's up to us talking. Ukuja niku explain, but then mimi sipendi wanaume wanavaa studs. And it's something you're not willing to change. You tell me. It's either you adopt to what I have, or I adopt to your decisions.
In fact, you brought yourself to where the topic starts. Why is this topic so important in this day and age? Having that now we have the generation Alpha, we have the Gen Z, the millennials, and I don't know, the generation X. So you find there's a lot of, nimeona tena watu wamefufua hizi vita tena Facebook. I don't know, you're not on social media.
Unfortunately.
Guys, where can you pressure you in social media? So let's go for a break, come back, and I'll tell you what has been happening on the socials.
Okay.
Je, wewe ni mfanyabiashara katika sekta ya elimu, afya bora, usafiri ama unamiliki kampuni yoyote ile? Ungependa kupata fursa ya kutangaza biashara yako ili kuwafikia wateja zaidi? Usikonde. Runinga ya Younib inakupa fursa ya kupeperusha matangazo kuhusu bidhaa na huduma unazotoa kwa bei nafuu. Kwa maelezo zaidi, wasiliana nasi kupitia nambari za simu 0750344700 ama kupitia barua pepe marketing@younibtv.com. Jinyakulie leo. Younib TV, ever the best. Ever the best. Hallelujah.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. Remember, talk to us. #The Coffee Talk, Mr. Adiang and the Grandpa. So topic ya leo ni gender-based violence. Na niko shocked. Wengi hatujui what entails gender-based violence. Ukiwa hapo kama mwanaume, mwanamke wako anakuweka mandondi na wewe unanyamaza. Unaipromote knowingly or unknowingly. Unatembea town, you're being catcalled, you do not want that attention. That is unakuwa that is infringe. Who loves being called? Unajua kuna kuanga na usi mistake. Like ni sawa, yes, maybe itakupatia, maybe utakapo itakuonyesha ati unakapwa, but haibambi. Wewe unatembea unashughulika na mambo yako, mtu ndio huyo ashakuita, washaanza kudescribe mwili yako, your behinds are doing something to them, your nini is sijui nini, and it's usually something very nasty. They tell you a nasty thing and now uko like, kwani nilikosea? Unaanza kujishuku, umevaa vibaya ama sometimes you're just wearing a jeans, normal jeans that people will wear.
Let me ask you. So we're talking of gender-based violence. Let's deal with the emotional part first. Let's say Lady X is walking in town, na nione zipa yake imefunguka. And I tell her, and she feels uncomfortable. Will I have done a good thing or a bad thing?
Okay, yeah, hiyo si mbaya. I'd say that kuna some things that it's not even as ati ya mwanaume ndiye amekwambia, it's a stranger, you see. Like, yes, nita feel embarrassed and uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, utakuwa umenisaidia. The same way I'm saying a man, maybe his fly is open, and I just tell him, hey, nani, kuna venye unafurahisha watu kwa barabara. You see, mimi, kwa akili yangu, I've done it with a very pure intention.
Okay.
I'm like, your zipper is open. It's not something that, kama, like, nimekuambia, ndo ujue, ufunge. Labda ilifanyika, haujui. Yeah. So if you tell somebody in town that your zipper is open, that is not abused. That is just informing them.
There's a manipulation that has been going on, Ms. Adiang, where you find, and I would like to look more in terms of family setup, where unapata, we've got a child, where unataka mtu ya kuwa in a certain way. Okay? But because I have some differences with you, nitakuwa na chapa umtoi.
Iyo. Kai, ona leo sasa mingi ndio nakuwa mwalimu.
No, there is something that I've realized.
Iyo, mostly I feel it's projection. Unaona sometimes nimezaa mtoto, before mtoi akama mko mnajua venye beliefs zangu zinaweza ku affect extremely na venye beliefs zako zinaweza ni affect extremely. Sasa tuko na mtoto. Na since nashindwa kuongelesha na project some unfinished business within me, I project it to the kid, you see. Like unapata maybe a mom anapiga mtoto anamwambia, oh, babako hata nisaidii nini. It's not the kid's fault. Nyinyi kama watu wenye mmeoana, watu wakubwa wenye mlipatana mkaoana, mkakubaliana, mkaleta mtoto kwa hii dunia, then you tesa the kid. It's not right, because kama mimi siwezi ongea na bwanangu, hiyo inamaanisha we are not compatible. We are not compatible, because what is it? Nyinyi watu mnaonana uchi mnashindwa kuongea. Come on now. You're saying uongo.
And actually you've come now to where I wanted to go again. And thanks God the show is it really enlightens to the things that is happening that tunaonanga ni normal but is abnormal. So you find grandpa and I meet grandma somewhere, and after the intercourse kuna ile watu wananyamaziana ama wamekasirikiana.
Mimi kusema ukweli, sijui ni nini wewe unafanya. Acha nitanganye. Sijui ni nini, but I feel nini.
So mtoitwa tupate mtoi in that moment. You see, me, I was joking with this guy, not really joking, but I had not envisioned settling with her.
But nani? Me, I want to ask. You're not serious about this, but what is preventing you from wearing a nini? You are out here doing the deed with strangers, total strangers.
No, our research has been shown that many men, even I included, because of the nature, when God aliumba wase, before the intercourse happens, we really think, but we really think. And by the way, I was listening to Pastor Tim Wangi, and he was saying many men, after even the action, that's when msena kuanga, manzi, what have I done?
Ni sawa, kuna ile lapse of judgment in the moment, like a lapse of judgment, yani ile nye, we are in the heat of the moment. It's the same way we can be arguing. Tuna argue sana. I do not think of what I'm saying. After tumeshamaliza ku argue is the when I realize, or after I've said something so bad, it's when I realize, I've taken it too far. Yes, it may be in human nature, but I guess we need to jita mkutano, saa zingine ni discipline. Unajita mkutano unajiambia, sisi hatuko serious. Atu envisioned any future together. There is no harm in protecting ourselves. Because number one, it's not only going to be a kid that may come out of this, lousy mistake. A disease might come out of the mistake you just did, you see, if you term it as a mistake. So you will be out there treating diseases for something that lasted 2 minutes.
And another gender-based violence, that's happening. I never thought it happens. I was sitting with my cousin Christine Nyambura, and I was just discussing with her about menstrual periods in women. It's a topic that I also had picked up with you. I followed it up with her, and akaniambia ati kuna mademu wanapiganga wakiwa on their menstrual days in the ghetto communities, like the slums areas. Unajua kwa nini? Because Adiang huwezi enda kazi, nitakunyorosha vita ingine proper, just because you can't afford a pad and the pain.
Wanawake wote wenye wako, if that is happening, it is very unfortunate.
Yes.
And I want to blame all the, not really blame, but I want to put more emphasis for women in power. Things are happening that should not be happening. Period shame. In 2024, dem anakosa pad.
Yes.
You know how, like, ndio maana kulikuwa na uproar sana on the financial bill. Because things like sanitary pads should not even be discussed. That is something I cannot go without.
That's a basic need.
It's a basic need. Every other month, I have to use a 14 packet, something. And remember, it's juu.
No.
Pad kuna yenye nakuwa na 7 ndani. That's the small one. Na kuna yenye iko na 14. Na kuna ile kubwa sasa value
actually,
ile kubwa.
Actually, let me educate our fathers huko nyumbani, because I'm sure, because this is also a gender-based violence. Wenye wazazi wenye hatujui.
This is more of economical because nakosa vitu zenye.
Sasa tupeleke step by step. Ndio kama grandpa kona daughter, nisimpige violence ya emotional.
Kwanza number 1, period si dhambi. Jamani, let us just get to know this. And it's sad that we have women who are still teaching people that period si dhambi. This is not the enzi yenye ungekuwa unanyesha unaenda kukaa huko karibu na river unachimba. You know, people used to do that. Unachimba shimo unakaa hapo hadi period yako ishe. It's not that period. Now, because I'm into womanhood, I'm going into, my adult life. I want to tell you that, first of all, periods, they come every month.
Yes.
It's a every month thing.
Yes.
And for some girls, it's 3 days. For some girls, it's 1 week. For extreme cases, it's 2 weeks. Yeah. You bleed non-stop for 2 weeks. So I'm talking about maybe the average girl goes to 3 to 5 days. So in these 3 to 5, there's some people who feel pain, period cramps. There is the average period cramps that you can actually work. Unaweza enda kazi, ufanye nini zako. But there is extreme period pain where you remember Njambi, the
Koikai.
Yeah. That disease alikufa nayo, endometriosis.
Yes.
It's when you get periods zako, they are very painful to the point where you cannot do anything physically. You have to be moved around. You have to be under hospital surveillance. You have to go to doctors. In that period, you are in the hospital. So imagine if a woman in the ghetto is going through that. Na mtu bado anampiga because anafeel ati. Some
you
people
are lazy.
Yeah, I hear people any period pains inaweza kuweka chini. It's not even a joke.
Is it like a headache pain?
It's not a headache. People do not understand. Niseme hiyo uchunga kumwa na jino, labda niseme hivyo, but worse. So imagine unaumwa na kichwa, unaumwa na mgongo, unaumwa na tumbo.
What?
Your nini pia uko chini pia ni uchungu.
Whoa.
And then kuna tu mwili ni uchungu. People don't understand the complexity that comes with periods. It's not just shedding.
So literally it's from here to hear that is in sheer pain?
It's from your upper body feels much worse. So as a man who will be raising daughters in the future, please, ji-educate. Kuna period patches siku hizi, kuna bottles za period patches. It's ni kama ni kapachi hivi unaweka kwa tumbo, time unasikia uchungu. It counters the pain.
So what is it? Is it a paper?
I feel like we should have this discussion tukuja na hizo vitu zote hapa. It's not ni kama niseme aje, ni kama bandage. Ni kitu una stick.
Okay.
Kwa mahali unasikia uchungu, kuna there's the bottle. And you fill it with hot water, then you put it on your stomach. It eases the pain and it makes your blood flow okay
smoothly.
Because literally when you read about menstruation, it's the tearing of the uterine wall. You can imagine when your inner body is tearing apart. You know how sidhani kama wanaume wataielewa hiyo pain, but anyway, here we are living without sanitary towels for girls. Some girls do not even access that. Watu bado nini makeshift. Mtu anatumia blanketi na iPad nini.
So if you're a man and you're outside there and your daughter unakosa kumpatia pads, ama unajifanya hauelewi, ama genuinely hauelewi, by the way, Miss Adiang should come here and educate us about menstruation periods. I
guess, the funny thing is that it's complex, that even some of us women do not know everything about it. So, kuna wanaume mtaraise watoto wasichana peke yenu because maybe the mother left or the mother died. You need to understand these things. Enda kwa mtandao. Squeeze, everything is on mtandao. Enda kwa mtandao, Google.
Niko nasikia hata kuna if you're my daughter, na kupiga ati. I was getting annoyed when I was listening ati, is it arrogance? If you outside there na wewe ni mwanaume, tafadhali acha kupiga, cause kuna mwingine ati alikuwa anapiga nini daughter yake ati cause amemwambia it was a new case ati they start by spotting or something like that. So ilikuwa nadhani ati msichana ati amepata nini mimba. So if you're about a man outside there, shughulikia maneno, educate yourself. Kitu ya pili,
I feel like inafaa iwe juu tukiacha up to people to educate themselves. Very little will educate themselves actually. The main cause of action right now should be mass education. Sit both. This is it's no longer a topic that's only for the women. It's for the men also. Because it's sometimes nasikianga vizuri. Umeenda kwa mtandao and then you find a guy shopping for the girlfriend and anambia a period package. It's very beautiful. Some of you are well learned.
Yeah, that one you will do.
Some of you just choose and blame ignorance and then you're like, and then some of you have the audacity tukasirikia mtu ati haujapewa, unakasirikia mtu juu ananyesha.
Please, my cameraman, weka hii camera hapa. Dear men, as a researcher, I come to you to give you the information you'll never find somewhere else. If from today, this Sunday, going forward, upate girlfriend yako amenyamaza kwa nyumba hivi, haongei, usijitete na usiongee hata wewe, nyamaza. If you find your wife ask you very funny questions, mark the date and look at the sequence. Hapo nipo mnaanzianga kuongea vitu hazielewekani. And you see, they're also violating your mental health as men. Because umepata Miss Adiang amekaa hivi kwa nyumba. Umekuja, unamuuliza nini mbaya mama watoto? Babe nini mbaya? Haongei.
Ni kuinterrupt tu kidogo. Unaona ni vitu most watu wanafaa waongelee time wako kwa hiyo period ya kudate. Kwa mtu hadi ujue venye anakuanga during her periods, ama mwanaume wako ujue if this happens, this is how he reacts.
Do you know, Miss Adiang, I have done a good research and I've come to know men are caught during Is it after or before or during that time that you guys, hamtaki story, you're just bored, your hormones are just everywhere?
Hormones ni za kila mtu.
No.
Tusikue tunasema ati hormones za.
No, there's a time that you guys really, they are at an extreme.
Okay, yeah. Mimi sitajitetea hapo.
Ni wakati gani? Is it during, after, ama
it depends. Sometimes.
But anyway.
Sometimes ukiwa, you know, if you are understanding my pain. Wezi kuja upate nimelala kwa kitanda naumwa the whole day alafu unaniuliza mbona hizi vyombo hazijaoshwa. Itakupiga na hiyo sifuri.
With the experience I have, nikipata umelala, siwezi kuamsha wewe lala.
Kitu iko sasa tuko kwa 21st century. You know, however much many of you will disagree, it's okay. We are all tuko na right ya kuwa na opinions, but I feel like we are in 2024 where hakuna domestic roles zenye ziko assigned kwa mwanamke na kwa mwanaume faithfully. If you know your wife is not doing well during this period, what is stopping you? Kwanza sasa na believe wanaume kwanza wenyewe wamekuwa university. Mlikuwa mnajipikia, mnajioshea nini na kufanya uwezi support manzi yako ama bibi yako your period.
I usually tell men, draw a line at some point.
There is no line you are drawing.
No, you must draw.
At what point? Abu wewe niambie instances zenye una draw.
Number 1, wewe tukiwa mimi na wewe, nitakuoshea. Hata ukitaka nikuoshee nyumba nitaosha. But the minute mtoto amekuja, ama rafiki yangu amekuja, usimuoneshe ati wewe kuna wenye women love exercising power ati umeniketia hapa. No.
Shida yenu ni huwa mna interpret nini as kukaliwa. So I'm asking you, if we are just the two of us, we all have jobs, demanding jobs.
Yes.
You wake up in the morning, I wake up at the same time, we go to work, the two of us. Tunarudi home approximately the same time. Mmoja wetu maybe anarudi mbele ya mwingine. Sema umerudi mbele yangu. Ni nini itakustop kuingia kwa jikoni kutupikia sapa? Ama
mtu kama maziwa uniulize, kwani leo hujapika wewe?
Usiwe unaweza niuliza. Wewe ukiniuliza mimi huwa narusha.
It is an African, that's what I've told you. Don't bring that comparison in marriage.
When we do this, I do not, I mistaki ku advise jota most of you amsikiangi. Fanya hivi, jitingize. Detach yourselves from those I want to call them archaic African traditions. Because you've watched your father akiekelea miguu kwa meza anangoja mama ndiye apike. Yeye labda ndiye alikuwa ana nini. But anyway,
let me ask you, in your home, is there kiti ya father?
Acha tuende break alafu turudi nikuambie kama baba yangu anakalia kitu specific na kwa glass specific. Let us go for a break.
Perfect.
Je, wewe ni mfanyabiashara katika sekta ya elimu, afya bora, usafiri ama unamiliki kampuni yoyote ile? Ungependa kupata fursa ya kutangaza biashara yako ili kuwafikia wateja zaidi? Usikonde. Runinga ya Younib inakupa fursa ya kupeperusha matangazo kuhusu bidhaa na huduma unazotoa kwa bei nafuu. Kwa maelezo zaidi, wasiliana nasi kupitia nambari za simu 0750344700 ama kupitia barua pepe marketing@younibtv.com. Jinyakulie leo. Younib TV, ever the best.
Welcome back to the coffee talk with a big grandpa with an amazing friend.
Mr. Adiang, kabla tuende break grandpa alikuwa ameniuliza swali. Kama mzae mimi naweza sema okay, anakuanga na kiti ana prefer but si hata akikupata kwa hiyo kiti itakuwa vita ama utatolewa pombio.
But kuna venye ata feel uncomfortable.
Obviously lazima ata feel uncomfortable. Do every other person, tuseme kama mimi niko na spot napendanga kwa nyumba.
Yes.
Niende nipate hata mgeni amekaa. Nitaboeka ama tuseme niko tu na kale ka favorite mug.
No, achana wewe. Do you know why when he sits there and I want you to picture it in your mind, he can see the whole family, right? From his point of sitting.
Mimi baba wangu anapenda kulala. Hakika hapo ni kulala atalala. Okay, sawa. I understand that you want to see your family. You want to see everything.
That's the glory of a man.
But I just the thing I was retaliating on is that we are in a state where
we cannot be equals in domestic affairs.
But I'm just saying, and this should be something you should be able to talk to with your partner. There is no harm when you do the dishes once in a while.
Yes.
There is no harm when you wash your own clothes once in a while. Because hata mimi, kazi inakuwa overwhelming. Niko na kazi. Wewe pia uko na kazi. Bado ni mimi nitoke, nikuja nikufulie, nipike, nini. Mashine.
It's much cheaper.
Wewe kwanza mwenye unaweka girlfriend yako anakuja kukufulia weekend. Mimi nakwambia Mungu
I have a rule in my life, If I do not do what I do, I should not make you do it.
Exactly. If I come to your house you do not wash your clothes, you expect me to wash them.
Yes.
Nitakaa hivi nikiangalia kucha zangu nikingoja masaa ya kwenda home.
But
mimi utanifanyisha.
But sasa unaona kama wewe I can tell you kienyeji.
You have called me kienyeji on live TV.
Kwa sababu hauna nini?
Nails nitatengeneza.
No.
Ati mimi ni kienyeji.
No, that is gender-based violence to men.
Let me tell you what I am. Mimi ni first daughter in an African home. My ladies, the firstborns in African homes when I left.
My viewers.
Hizi kucha nilitengeneza. Don't
see, you agree with me, she looks very good with such nails.
Mimi sitadanganya. Kucha nilitengeneza. Lakini niko home. Vyombo zenye mtu anaosha na nguo.
Another way that guys are getting, and I think this is a topic yenye kana kujanga chini ya maji but tunaipotelea ama discuss. Kuna venye imefichwa kwanza saa hii na feel there is a lot of physical gender based violence than even during our mom's times. Tumekosana naye tukikunywa coffee papa.
Alafu kitu inanishangaza inanishtua ni hata hamuogopi.
Yes.
You all are doing it in broad daylight.
Yes.
In clubs where there are CCTVs. You see a video trending. Like there's a time a video trended of a very, a big name. The girl is kneeling down and the man is really anamwekelea makofi, raining makofi on her. So I was just there seated wondering. Sasa mtu akiamua agonge chupa kudunge nayo kwenye klabu. Because there are some people who's and then after that video trended, because he's a person who's known. After he made trend, you remember that time?
Yes.
He did not even
apologize.
We do not deserve your apology. Yes. But is that how you treat your partner? So I'm imagining if this is what is happening in public, what happens behind the closed doors?
Can I look at it from a controversial point of view? And I'll kick in a Bible verse. There's a Bible verse that says there'll come a time where 7 women are going to fight for a single man. Right? Do you think at a point penye with for example like the ladies are too many but kupata jama anafikiria straightforward ni ngumu, so if lady X I go hit on her kidogo tu aingie box na nimuoneshe, unaona hii coffee talk one day takamikwe kitu bigi na yeye aone if I invest in this guy who looks serious tutatokelezea. Definitely there is another lady who looks at me and is there like, hey, I wish. The same way a guy will look at you. Do you think there is the supply is too much or something? The men are, I don't know how to put it.
I just want I want to blame your upbringing, because if today I give birth to a baby boy, it is my responsibility, me as the mother or the father, to make sure that this kid grows up in a home that we do not tolerate hitting each other. We have our differences. We will talk about it. We do not. Sioni mbona mwanaume unikuie mkali ushow dominance. Hiyo maneno ya kubehave kama wanyama, wachia wanyama pori. Maneno ya kupigana na your significant other. That is a story for the past, and it should not even
could that girl be, for lack of a better word, desperate?
You know, the one thing I've realized with physical abuse is that it starts very early into your relationship.
Serious?
You see, when you're dating a guy, when you're courting, that extreme jealousy that he has, that kanini that he tells you that, you know me, I don't like, Ama, it's true. Sometimes you go talk to maybe a male person and your partner gets so angry, ile jealousy ile inakuwa aggressive. Kuna ile jealousy ya, spendi venye wao msee ako close na manzi yangu. Hiyo inaeleweka. But kuna ile yenye atakuja hadi hapo mahali mmesimama, labda hata ni boss wako akudraga kutoa hapo ati una flat na wanaume mbele yangu, unanishow disrespect. So inaanzanga mapema sana. The little things that you are ignoring. He is telling you that I do not like that of your friend usiku unaongea na yeye. That is number one. He is starting to show control over your life. I do not like your friend. I don't like that auntie of yours. Haufai kuwa unaongea na huyo auntie yako. With the time, anaanza kukutoa. At least ni poa kwa sababu anakudirect in a way. Akunanga kudirect, anakutoa from people who will actually listen to you. Sasa, with the time, utapata uko peke yako. You have no one to run to because udisha cut ties na everyone that unge run to. You become, mtu anajiambia ati, alafu, sometimes you find that somebody will tell you that hakuna mtu atakukubali hivyo mwenye uko. Utapata dem maybe ni mchabi, she's on the bigger side. Anapata mwanaume mwenye ako very emotionally manipulative, anamwambia by the ni mimi tu naweza kupenda na hiyo mwili yako. Hakuna mwanaume mwingine atakupenda na hiyo mwili. Ama amekupiga hadi sasa ile shape ulikuja nayo. If
you go to a club, let's say you've gone dancing or something, and you find grandpa is fighting, and no, it's not coming. Let's say you've gone to someone else to a club, but ataka atoe vita, will you continue that relationship?
No. Kwanza hata unapigana nini mbele ya watu? No. Because kuna zingine zinakuanga maybe legitimate. There's a legitimate reason to fight because every other person has their limit.
Yes.
I get so angry that you've pushed me to the point where I want to fight. Kuna hiyo inaelewekanga. Najaribu kuielewa. But kuna ile nye mtu tu amekukanyaga kidogo, usharusha habari. Ama you get that when clubs zinakuwa crowded, umegeuka hivi mtu amekumwagia drink. Ushaanza kukua violent. Mimi nikiona hivyo, I'll ask myself if this is how he's treating strangers. So what if one day nipike chakula na ikuwe na chumvi mingi?
Kuna kanoshon kingine nimesikia. Kama leto kimchezo and it will get serious, Nowadays men are saying, chini ya maji, they're not beating you. They're disciplining you.
Personally, mimi mamangu aliniambia niko na kichwa ngumu. Kaa hapa ukiniambia unani discipline. Siku nitapata backbone. It's going to be me and you. But on a serious note, there is no disciplining a grown up. Wewe ni mama yake, wewe ni baba yake. Wewe ukiwa unarusha manguo zako uko chini, nimekuambia mara kadhaa. Hizo nguo ukitoa, tafadhali baba nani ziweke kwa laundry basket. Hutaki kusikia umerusha socks sijui wapi, viatu zako ziko wapi. Mimi sitakupiga juu mimi si mama yako. Nishakwambia na naona usikii. Hizo nguo nitaziacha hapo siku 3 siku 2 uone hadi wewe. Hai, lakini ikai poa. You see?
I would like to ask you a question as a woman. Maybe I don't know, but let me just put it. You're staying with someone. You see, Mr. Adiang, you have a way of working. The way I've noticed you for the few months I've stayed with you, you have a particular way of working. But umekaa mko hau, socks ziko kule, sijui, it's messy. As a woman, when you walk in the room, or umetoka job, mse amekama amekula kikombe iko hapo, kuna vyombo za asubuhi, kuna nguo chafu. You see, there's a way you need to live like a human.
Na wewe umeamua uishi kama mnyama.
Yeah. When women find in such a space, when you are cleaning, I'm not asking out of ignorance or arrogance. Do you get tired?
What do you mean do? Ninakwambia sahi I'm not married, I'm not in any commitment with anyone. But I'm living in my mother's house. Let me tell you, brother wangu akikunywa chai ache kikombe hapo kwa meza. Nimwambie mara moja hii kikombe toa hapo na asitoe. Tutaacha hapo basi mamake apate. Aseme mbona alikuwa ameacha kikombe juu ya meza. Mimi personally siwezi ishi na wewe na hauna home training. Ati socks umetoa kwa za wiki moja zinanuka umeacha huko, kikombe ulikunywa nao chai. Or you take your cups, you get them to the bedroom, you do not remove them from the bed. Vikombe zinaozea chini ya kitanda. I will give you an ultimatum. It's either you get your act right, know how to act like a human being. For God's sake, you're not an animal. Even animals, you see cats, you never see their shit anywhere. It's because cats, after they have done what they have done, they cover it up, you see. The difference between you and a dog is the tail. And mimi sitaishi na mnyama. Because sisi wote especially kama tumekuwa university, sisi wote najiambianga mwanaume ameenda university anajua kujipikia, anajua kujioshea vyombo, because kama ulikuwa unaishi peke yako, nani alikuwa anafanya hizi vitu? Kuna wenye wanafanywa na watu. But we are not going to be doing that around here. It's either you get your act right or may leave. If you find a woman mwenye ako ready kukuwa mamako, mwenye atakufanyia hizo vitu, it's okay, you find her. But me, personally, I cannot live with you when you don't even know how to live with yourself.
And let's say you get to a point where you get physically abused. And I say, maybe to me argue, like me sijazoea kutusiwa. I have never been abused. Nisikia tu reaction tu ni kupiga tu kakofi ka kukudiscipline kidogo.
Sasa si unaona hapo ndio pale shida inatokea. Unani discipline when headmaster, ni principal. Ni nini hiyo nakuambia unaniekelea kofi, sijaiambia mamangu na sijaiambia babangu. Unaniekelea kofi. One thing is that relationships nowadays it's wild that you find that a boyfriend is beating on a girlfriend. Very wild, because I do not understand where you come off starting beating somebody's child. Even the same way girlfriend unapiga boyfriend. Ni nini mbaya? Mamako anajua umekuwa Mike Tyson huko nje. Anajua wewe hiyo maziwa yote ulikuwa unapewa ukiwa mdogo. Sometimes I feel it's childhood traumas, because some people are raised in households where the father
ni Afghanistan versus Iraq.
Baba ni Taliban, anapiga mama hadi madam hana say, you see. So when somebody is brought up, it is up to you to change that. And I'm saying that it's not everybody who comes from these homes anapata the same, ati akitoka huko nje anapiga watu.
What's the worst someone can push Miss Adiang? What's the worst?
There's no better way to explain this, but abuse itafika point.
How much can you take in as a person?
Mimi na ni baby girl. Mimi hata uwezi niekelea mkono. And if you do
do you get heated conversations?
If I get into a heated conversation with a man that I'm dating, if we cannot talk this out right now, let us go our separate ways, cool off, Then we'll come back and have a grown-up discussion.
Wow.
But hii mambo ya kukua Mayweather na sijui nani, we are not in power dynamics, hatutapigana. Me, I will not fight you, honestly.
You go on.
Na ukijaribu kuniwekea kofi na usiwahi nipigia tena simu. Juu ni maragwe utakula ndani.
So you never treat us like a god.
Who? Nie. Nyinyi watu mnashinda mkiua watu huku left right center and then you do the almost inexplainable things. Me, I cannot treat a man like God. Maybe if my husband is nice, I will worship the ground he walks. But right now,
oh my goodness.
And as we are wrapping up, I just want to tell everyone who is watching, if you've ever gone through something, gender-based violence in any form, there's a hotline that you can call.
Wow.
1195, you call it. It can be physical, anywhere. And there is also the gender recovery something that helps with people who've gone through abuse and you do not know where to go and where to start. Look for these NGOs. They offer the help that you can get. They offer rehabilitation. And also, do not be shy to go to the police station na uchukue
P3 or
fungulia huyu mtu mashtaka juu wewe hukuwe si punching bag. Fungulia mashtaka.
Amazing. As she's put it, we were starting the conversation, I said I had a chance, even learning a lot from Ms. Adiang about menstrual periods. And I came to learn that a lot of men are beating their wives, their sisters, their girlfriends for not working because of their periods. If you're a man outside there, tafadhali tafuta wasichana who are your age mates and above. Learn about these things, but fighting them because of a natural cause,
you
don't have this.
Iyako.
Si mzuri.
Si ya kama ya
na
binadamu.
Kama wewe ni bibi unapiga bwana, juu ni makosa mbele ya Mungu na hata shetani. You should never fight your man. Support your man. For the men who are said there, always know that you're a God. You don't share your glory, but create your glory.
Anyway.
This is the coffee talk with the grandpa.
And me, Miss Adiang, and do not listen to that notion of being a god. No, Omondi Kangede Amutua.
So God is so
you're not a god. Please stick to your lane. Do not compare yourself to God. Anyway.
Genesis book says, let us create man in our own image. And by the one day,
anyway, from the coffee talk, we want to wrap this up. Thank you for being with us.
Goodbye.
Remember to share and good night.